Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to Korea from Inside, your go-to channel for the most captivating stories straight from the heart of Korea. Today, we're diving into an incredibly touching and dramatic story. Lee Min-ho cried in the rain while waiting for Song Hye Kyo, hoping to apologize to her. What really happened between these two beloved stars? Let's find out together. Stay with us. It's starting right now. It wasn't supposed to end like this. Not for two of Korea's most beloved stars, not under the cold, merciless rain that drenched Seoul that fateful night. But there he was. Lee Min-ho, standing motionless outside her apartment building at 2:17 a.m., the rain soaking through his coat, the city lights blurred by tears. What had driven the usually composed, charming superstar to such a raw and exposed moment? What unspeakable regret made him wait for hours, alone, under the downpour? Let's go back to the moment it all began. An unexpected connection. For years, Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo lived parallel lives, two A-list actors admired globally, yet never crossing professional paths. Fans dreamed of seeing them together on screen, but the opportunity never came, until the charity gala in Tokyo last year. Eyewitnesses recall the sparks. "He couldn't take his eyes off her," whispered a stylist who attended the event. It was as if no one else in the room existed. After that night, their names were whispered together in gossip columns and fan forums. Sightings began to surface: a shared dinner in Gangnam, a stroll in Jeju, a quiet laugh at a private event in Busan. But the public knew nothing about what was happening behind the scenes. A secret relationship. And a sudden rift. By early spring, insiders confirmed what many suspected. Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo were in a relationship. A quiet, intense one. The kind that burns fast and deep. They were inseparable, said a close friend. Lee Min-ho was softer around her, more grounded. And she? She smiled again. But just as quickly as it bloomed, everything began to unravel. Sources close to the actors described increasing tension, rumors of jealousy, schedules that clashed, words spoken in frustration. And then, the message that changed everything. A private photo, allegedly taken during an overseas shoot, showed Lee Min-ho at dinner with another actress. The photo went viral within minutes. Song Hye Kyo, blindsided and humiliated, reportedly blocked his number. She refused his calls. And when he tried to explain, she left the country for a film project in Paris without saying a word. The breakdown. What the public didn't see was Lee Min-ho's complete breakdown. "He didn't sleep for days," said a member of his management team. "He kept replaying everything, asking where he went wrong. He wasn't cheating, but he knew he hadn't been honest enough, and he knew she deserved better." After her return to Seoul, he tried to reach her in person. She refused. That night, he sent a single message: "If there's still a chance, even a small one, meet me where we had our first walk. I'll wait, no matter how long." And so, he waited. The night of the rain. It was raining heavily. The kind of rain that drowns the city in silence. At 10:30 p.m., Lee Min-ho arrived at the quiet street near Han River, where they'd once laughed about eating ramyeon under the stars. He wore no disguise, no umbrella. Just hope. Minutes passed. Then an hour. Then two. By midnight, he was soaked to the bone. A few fans spotted him, recognized him, and were too stunned to speak. He didn't look at them. He didn't pose. He just stood there, eyes fixed on the path. At 2 a.m., someone said he sat on the bench, head in hands, shoulders shaking, crying. What happened next left everyone speechless. At 2:34 a.m., a black car pulled up. She stepped out. Song Hye Kyo, in a dark coat, her face unreadable. The street was deserted, except for the two of them. No one knows exactly what was said, but witnesses, watching silently from afar, said the moment was like something out of a film. She approached him slowly. He stood up, unsure, and dropped to his knees. Yes, on his knees, in the middle of the rain. He said something, words lost in the sound of the storm. She stood still for a long time, and then she reached out, took his hand, pulled him to his feet. They embraced. Was it forgiveness? Or goodbye? By morning, the story exploded across Korean media. Photos of Lee Min-ho in the rain, drenched and devastated. The brief image of Song Hye Kyo arriving. No one knew if they had made up or if it was their final goodbye. Neither of them released a statement. But 2 weeks later, fans noticed something strange. On Instagram, both posted the same quote, separately. "Things are worth waiting for, even in the rain." Aftermath. Since then, they've remained silent, no appearances together. No confirmation. Those close to them say something has changed. "He's calmer now," said a production assistant, like someone who's finally said what needed to be said. As for her, she smiles when she hears his name. "That's all I'll say." So, what was it all for? Was it love? Redemption? Closure? Whatever it was, one thing is certain: on that rainy Seoul night, one man, a global icon, chose vulnerability over pride, and one woman, elegant and strong, chose to listen. Maybe that's what love really looks like, not perfection, but the willingness to show up, soaked in rain, asking for forgiveness. And maybe, just maybe, it's the beginning of something beautiful. The rain had stopped. The storm between them, that invisible storm of memories, mistakes, and maybes, was only just beginning to settle. That night was never meant to go public. There were no press releases, no stage smiles for the media. But Korea has eyes everywhere. And when two of the nation's most beloved celebrities share a tearful embrace in the middle of a lonely Seoul street, someone will notice. And someone did. The moment went viral within hours. The world reacts. The photos, grainy, dim, yet undeniably powerful, flooded social media platforms like a tidal wave. Lee Min-ho kneeling in the rain, Song Hye Kyo standing over him, the blurry but unmistakable silhouette of their hug. Fans were stunned. Divided. Some cried, saying it was the most human thing they had ever seen from a star so often hidden behind the mask of fame. Others were skeptical. Publicity stunned. One user wrote on Twitter, "Two veterans trying to stay relevant." But the emotions captured in those images, raw, unfiltered, said otherwise. And soon, more information began to leak. Behind the curtain, the real story. It wasn't just a one-time romantic gesture. The fallout between them had been deeper, more painful than the public realized. Sources close to both stars began to open up, under the condition of anonymity. "Thought she was done with him," said a longtime friend of Lee Min-ho. "He had accepted that, but he couldn't live with her thinking he betrayed her." That was the real wound, that she believed something that wasn't true. For Song Hye Kyo, the hurt came from more than just a photo. "She's been through this before," said a friend of hers, referencing her previous high-profile breakup. She was afraid of being embarrassed again, afraid of trusting too quickly. And when the rumor spread, she shut everything out. Even him. The tragedy wasn't just in the rumor, it was in the timing. The silence, the lack of explanation before assumptions took hold. The private meeting that changed everything. What happened after the rain-soaked reunion was far more complex than a simple reconciliation. They didn't immediately resume dating. In fact, according to reports, they didn't speak again for several days. It was too emotional. Too raw, said a manager familiar with their schedules. He gave her space, and she needed it. But that space became something else. In the week that followed, stars disappeared from public life. No fan meetings, no social media posts, no press appearances. Then, 10 days after that night, they met again, this time in private, behind closed doors. The location, a secluded traditional hanguk villa in Bukhan. The purpose, clarity, understanding. A choice. Assistance. No cameras. Just them. What was said during that conversation remains unknown, but what we do know is what happened after. In the entertainment world, silence is often a sign of something going wrong. In this case, silence meant healing. Over the next month, both Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo returned to their professional lives, quietly, but with noticeable change. On the set of his upcoming series, staff member noted, "He seems lighter. Still serious. Still focused, but not weighed down." As for her, crew members on her film said she carried a journal everywhere, writing, reflecting. "She's peaceful now," one makeup artist observed. "It's like she found something she lost." They weren't seen together. Not in cafes, not at airports, not in public. But they were talking. Every day. The apology letter. 2 weeks later, an anonymous source leaked something unexpected to a major entertainment outlet, a handwritten letter. Unconfirmed, unsigned. Clearly written by a man to a woman, filled with regret, sincerity, and longing. Fans quickly speculated it was from Lee Min-ho to Song Hye Kyo, and though neither confirmed it, the letter was read millions of times within 24 hours. A part of it read, "I didn't come to change your mind. I came to give you the truth. Even if you never take me back. Want you to know, I never stopped choosing you. Even in silence, even in doubt. Even in the rain." The internet erupted. Memes, fan edits, reaction videos. Even in the rain began trending globally. Still, no official word. The turning point came the awards night. The Bksn Arts Awards. It's glamour, tension. Both Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo were nominated that evening, he for Best Actor, she for Best Actress. Rumors swirled. Would they sit near each other? Would they acknowledge one another? The cameras were ready. What happened stunned everyone. When Lee Min-ho's name was announced, he walked up to the stage, confident yet visibly emotional. He accepted his trophy, thanked his team, fans. Then paused. He looked straight ahead and said, "Sometimes, the roles we play off screen are harder than the ones on camera." To the person who taught me what real courage looks like, thank you for listening, even when I didn't deserve it. Crowd gasped. And then, Song Hye Kyo, in the front row, wiped away a single tear. Backstage, the unseen moment. After the show ended, fans waited. Would they leave together? Would there be a picture? No such luck. But one paparazzi photographer caught a fleeting moment backstage, the two stars, standing close. Heads leaned in. Smiles, not for show, but private ones. Real ones. Photo, though blurry, told 1,000 stories. And it was enough. What comes next? Are they back together? No one knows for sure. But here's what's certain. Lee Min-ho was recently spotted wearing a bracelet fans had previously seen on Song Hye Kyo. She was seen holding a script for a drama, rumored to be one he's producing. And both actors, for the first time in years, followed each other publicly on Instagram again. Coincidence? Doubtful. A love that weathered the storm. In an industry built on image, both stars chose truth. Vulnerability. The risk of looking weak, foolish, human. And fans love them more for it. Because beyond the fame, the endorsements, the red carpets, this was something everyone could relate to: regret, redemption, the courage to apologize, and the hope that love, if it's real, can survive even the darkest storm. So, was this a fairy tale? Not exactly. But perhaps it's something better. A story about two people who lost each other, then found the strength to meet again, not with grand gestures or perfect words, but with honesty, with tears, with rain. And maybe that's the most romantic thing